Hi everyone, my name is Lilly Nardelli and I'm with DXS New England, where I've been for the last 3 years as a VRV and Air Source heat pump sales engineer. And for any of you who might not be familiar with who we are as DXS, we are Daikin's largest VRV representative in North America, and we have been exclusive to Daikin since 2007. And today I'm going to be discussing a new and very exciting topic for us, and something that's becoming more and more prevalent, which is the next wave of VRV air source heat pumps for hot water heating. So the first thing I want to discuss before even getting into the hot water heating solutions here are actually the cold climate VRV air source heat pumps that are driving these solutions. So VRV has already been around for years, and at this point is a well-known and well-trusted solution in the industry, and has already been very effective and utilized often for decarbonization efforts. And VRV is a solution for electrifying and decarbonizing space heating and cooling, and we would do that through the use of our standard VRV heat pump or heat recovery systems, which would be tied to standard VRV indoor units. And you can see an example of that on the left side of the screen. And not only that, but we also use VRV to decarbonize treating our ventilation air by tying a VRV heat pump to a VRV coil downstream of an ERV. Or we could do a similar setup to decarbonize air handling units. And it's really important to understand the extreme cold climate capabilities of the systems, which are still able to extract heat from the ambient air even at extremely low ambient temperatures, with some models being capable of providing 100% heating capacity down to 0 ambient, with operating ranges well into the negatives. And this is something that other air source heat pumps can't do, which is why it's such a big deal that we can now use these VRV heat pumps to efficiently decarbonize hot water heating for both domestic hot water and building hot water heating. And with that, we'll move on to talk about our VRV-driven split domestic hot water solution from Daikin called MegaQ. And as I mentioned, these systems will use our traditional cold climate VRV air source heat pump outdoor units, which will be piped with refrigerant piping to this refrigerant to water cascade unit. And these cascade units also have inverter compressors and a refrigerant to water heat exchanger, which will feed your domestic hot water tank. And one of the major benefits of having this split system set up with these separate circuits is you can have the VRV heat pump located outdoors with only refrigerant piping needing to be outdoors and no water piping. And that eliminates the need for a glycol or heat trace. And this cascade system can produce water up to 194 F at -4 ambient and allows for efficient air source heat pump operation and hot water production at both high and low lifts, unlike some other solutions like a CO2 domestic hot water heater, for example, which does well with high lift but will rely on electric resistance swing tanks at low load. Overall, this is going to be your highest operational efficiency solution for domestic hot water heating. And finally, I want to talk about DXS's solution for the industry's first VRV-driven split modular heat pump chiller with arc heat. And again, we'll start with our cold climate Daikin VRV condensing units connected with refrigerant lines to these indoor mounted large capacity modular refrigerant to water heat exchangers. And this is what we call the arc heat XE units. And we have a similar story here as with the MegaQ domestic hot water solution, where all of our water can be kept inside the building, which again removes the need for glycol or heat trace. And this setup can be used to electrify and maintain condenser water loops for decarbonization, which we're seeing more and more demand for, especially with the recent requirements for building emission reductions in Boston and surrounding areas. We then also have the option to include a modular headered water-to-water heat pump after these XE units, and that's what we call the boost unit. And this can be used to boost the water temperature to deliver high temp water at 180 F, which allows us to utilize existing high temperature building hot water heating infrastructure. So just to quickly recap, for years we've relied on VRV air source heat pumps to spearhead our decarbonization efforts, and we now have the opportunity to use these same units to revolutionize hot water heating, driving both domestic hot water heating as well as building hot water heating needs with solutions from DXS. Thank you.